Okay, here we go. So, I'm excited. I've been working on planning this summer trip. This year, we're headed to Appalachia, starting on June 25th and coming back July 1st. I'm like 90% on those dates, depending on, I'm like pretty darn sure, but there might be one day on either side if we end up driving, but I don't think we will. But just a note about that. Some other places it says leaving on June 24th, and I was thinking differently then. But yeah, I'm really excited about this trip. Addison is on this call, and she came on the trip last year. You can kind of spot, well, she's in that picture right there at least. But I like care about these trips and lead these trips because I think they're places where kids can really practice weaving deeply, which that's kind of fabric lingo for being and learning about your best self, doing that in a group with other people, and being in places and doing things that help you connect with the third strand or God or being part of something bigger than yourself. I think these trips are incredible places where kids get to really live and practice doing those things. Right now, like being lonely is a thing for a lot of people. And mental health stuff is a thing, and having like this rich place to belong and feel belonging is a really, really incredible tool. And I think on these trips, kids do a lot of growing. I do a lot of growing. Everybody does. These trips are both super fun and incredible, and also really challenging sometimes. And that's where the growth comes in. I apologize. My sister is calling me, and it is not stopping. There we go. Okay, we're back. Also, I just want to say you can jump in here at any time and ask me questions. So we are going to Appalachia this year. We are going to be flying into Nashville most likely, and then driving to a service project location because what are we doing? We are going to be providing critical home repairs to people in Appalachia. We're going to be working alongside these people who were fixing their homes or helping them do that. We're going to be gathering with 30 to 40 other high schoolers from all over the country. Potentially there will be like, 4 or 5 other groups besides us. And we're going to get to enjoy a lot of Appalachian food and culture. So we are going, I'm keeping it kind of broad because we don't actually know the exact location of where we are going to be doing these service projects. We're going to be flying probably to Nashville, Tennessee. I think that's going to be like the cheapest ones. And then we're going to be driving somewhere in this area. And this is given to us it's called Appalachian Service Project, which is one of the organizations we're going to be working with. And they don't actually tell us the exact place we're going to be until like March, which makes me nervous, but we're going to make it work. But I'm really excited to work with them because they're going to have connections locally and be able to, help us in a interact with locals in a meaningful way that isn't just us swooping in and showing up and saying, we're here to help you or whatever. Like, it's going to make it a team effort. It's going to make it less like mission trippy where we're flying in and saying, we're here to save you. That's not that's not why we're going on the trip. I talked to the kids earlier about that and how part of preparing for the trip is going to be talking about and learning about the area, but really trying to not to know that like we're going on this trip because like doing service projects, we're going to help people, but helping people really helps us a lot. We get to be part of a group. We get to do something meaningful and find purpose in it. We're probably going to learn some new skills. Like if we're like really helping build a house, like I saw pictures and they were putting up siding and things like that and learning how to drywall. Like we're going to get a lot out of this trip. And I think the work we do will be meaningful, but I want it to be like we're going to better ourselves just as much as we're going to help somebody else. Like we are getting a lot out of a trip like this. So I just mentioned Appalachian Service Project, who we're going to be working with, and we're also going to be working with Rainbow Trail Lutheran Camp. And that's who we went to Colorado with last year. And I have our lovely guides here. This is Macy and Justin. And Addison, you can jump in here too. They were so awesome. They were incredible guides, role models, just like really incredible people to work with. And when I was searching for something to do, I came away from the trip last year saying, I know, one, I want to have young people like Macy and Justin on trips. Like they made such a huge difference in our experience, having those role models who are just a couple steps ahead of you. So you can really look at them and say like, hey, that could be me in a few years. And they were just really incredible role models. And the other thing I left Rainbow Trail with was like having a clear purpose. Like we left Colorado saying like, we climbed a freaking mountain. It was so cool to really have accomplished something. So when I was looking for what to do this year, I saw Rainbow Trail offered this thing where they send counselors and we'll meet with them at the airport and they'll pick us up. And they partner with Appalachian Service Project. So they've already vetted this organization. They say it's 10 out of 10. It's really great. And we're going to accomplish something. So I think working with these two organizations are going to help us have an equally amazing experience. Or that is my hope. So yeah. I think some more details about the days and things. So we're going to fly in on a Sunday, get to our location at around like 3, probably do a lot of like get to know you games. We're going to be getting to know these other high schoolers from other parts of the country, which I'm so excited for that part too. Like we could leave this trip with really good friends from New York City for all we know. Like that would be pretty amazing. Maybe we'll know where we're going to go on our trip the next summer, like with groups from there. But during the week, like Monday through Friday, we're going to wake up, eat breakfast. We pack a lunch every day. There'll be kind of like a morning, kind of like our morning Maya moments, but I think they'll be run by the program. And then we work at a site from 9 until 2 every day. So it's also not like we're working like 8-hour days. And we'll actually kind of split up. So it'll probably be like me and a counselor person and 5 people or whatever. We go and work with a bunch of other high schoolers from other places. So they kind of split us up during our work projects, but then we all come back together in the evenings. And every evening there's going to be some enrichment thing, some fun that is had. And that's also put on by Appalachian Service Project. One time they brought in a bluegrass band, which sounded pretty fun. We'll probably have a barbecue, which that kind of part of the South has, really good barbecue, I guess. Anyway, So we'll get to have a lot of kind of playtime to enjoying that part of the country. Um, any questions so far? All right. Oh, I didn't see you, Olivia. Hi. Okay. Well, the next part is the cost, and this trip became wildly more expensive every time I like went back to the drawing board, and yeah, it's really expensive this year. The sticker price is $1,300. I think we're gonna do some fundraising, and that'll take off like $200 a person. Because it feels so wildly expensive this year. I am offering everybody a scholarship voucher. So when you sign up with the Google, like the Fabric registration form, there's just a button that says, like, yes, I want the scholarship voucher, or no, I don't want the scholarship voucher. So it's as simple as a button. I just want to make scholarship like accessible and easy for people. Um, and we do work very hard for our scholarship money, so don't use it if you don't need it. But I really want people to come on this trip. So, and there's also another scholarship form that you can always use to fill out, because we never want money to be a reason that people don't come on these pretty amazing trips. So that is the cost of the trip. And here's my slide. Remember that you're paying for 2 adult leaders. One will be me. I am still searching for a second adult leader. Once again, the 2 amazing college-aged incredible counselors from Rainbow Trail Lutheran Camp, and an experience of a lifetime. These trips, when I plan them, I want them to be something that you wouldn't be able to experience. Like you wouldn't just do this on a family vacation. Like, this is a pretty unique part of the United States. Um, it's unique because we get to like be so in the mix with local people. We get to be doing this like really incredible, meaningful work there, and getting to know people while we're doing it. So I really do. Just like last year, this is going to be an experience of a lifetime, and I really hope that if you go on this trip, like, you come back a little different than when you went into this thing. So, I'm gonna stop sharing for a moment, and Ariana, who came on the trip last year, and she has graduated, but she sent in a little video here. Okay, good. I just gotta share my other screen. All right, here is what Ariana has to say. And it's kind of weird, but here we go.
Hi guys, I'm Ariana, and I went on the backpacking trip to Colorado last year.
Can you guys hear that? Yes, okay.
I chose to go on the trip because it was the last one I could go on since it was my senior year, and it sounded like a lot of fun. So I had been on a lot of camping trips for Girl Scout camp before, but all those were canoe trips. So I went on an 18-day Boundary Water trip, and all of those trips were super awesome, but I wanted to try backpacking and challenge myself. So I heard it was in Colorado, and I love Colorado, but hadn't been since I was younger, so I really wanted to go. And then there was a lot of fun moments from the trip, so it's hard to choose the best one. But a really fun moment was we woke up at 2:30 a.m. It was very dark and very cold. We ate some bagels, some people had some coffee, and then we made our way up the mountain. We stopped for some oatmeal, and we watched the sunrise, and then we eventually made our way all the way up to the top. And it was very challenging, but very fun. When we made it to the top, we all celebrated, and we got to take lots of pictures and call our family. There's never a dull moment. There was so much laughter and joy every day, and I made a lot of good friendships and lifelong memories. So, yeah. And don't get me wrong, there are definitely some challenging moments. So, one challenging moment for me was getting back down the mountain. So, I was perfectly fine going up. It was awesome. But then I could not get down the mountain. I was so scared. We were so high up. I would look down and I was like, there's no way I can get down. That's terrifying. But we had amazing group leaders at the church camp. We had Maya, and the support I had, I was able to slowly make it down. And I did cry a little bit, but the task of getting down felt impossible. But the group helped me. They made me feel a lot better and showed me the power of teamwork and friendship. So not everything will be perfect. You might not get along with someone on the trip, or you might have your best friend on the trip. No matter what, you'll have so much fun, and it'll be so worth it. I think you guys should go on the trip.
I love how Ariana talks about it, because it is, and it's so true that these trips are so awesome, but they do have some challenges. I also want to note that Ariana came on this trip, and she knew like Claudia a little bit from church or whatever, but she did not have a best friend on that trip, or like so she totally took a leap and had a pretty amazing experience. So anyway, just noting, you don't have to have your best friend come with you. You can just come and you'll make friends and it'll be great. Like Addison and Olivia, although I think you guys are kind of best friends, but they are from Cloquet and they jumped in with us city kids, and I don't know, we're all friends now. It's all good. Okay, a couple more things that I want to touch on are we are already doing a fundraiser. We're selling Christmas wreaths, and they're from Darwin Lee, who's, if you know Ilsa, it's her dad's flower shop, and he's very cool. So we have 50 wreaths that we're selling. They cost $35. We get $15 of profit for each one. We're selling them next to Sundays, and like the leftovers that we don't sell, we're gonna take with us and sell them door to door, because we gotta raise some money here. So if you are even thinking about coming on the trip, if you could help hand out wreaths on those Sundays, or ask your neighbors if they want a wreath or something like that, I will be asking for your help. The other thing I want to mention, and Addison and Olivia, you guys know less about this, but I want you guys are totally invited to this. But every year we go to Camp Courage, and high schoolers are the counselors at Camp Courage, and it would be pretty awesome if you guys all got back on July 1st. You had a week off, but then we came back as a group. Like, we're already bonded. We have already done a bunch of leadership training as we're like building houses and whatever, and then we come together at Camp Courage and be leaders for the kids there. It's like 4.5 days long. It's a Sunday to a Thursday morning. Anyway, I want that to be in your mind too, because it'd be pretty awesome if we had like a good chunk of the people who went on the trip also be counselors. And here's a picture of the counselor training from last year. It was very fun. If you are in for Appalachia, you can email me your registration form for Rainbow Trail. You can fill out the online fabric registration form. The down payment is $200, and this is all due in 2 weeks. I'm trying to make people make a decision here. So it's due in 2 weeks on December 4th. And you can find all of this stuff on our website, fabricminneapolis.com/trips. I'm gonna just show that to you. And I'll send the link too. But so Fabric Minneapolis / trips. So we kind of have the who, what, where, when, why thing. So you'll need the registration form, and that's something you have to print and fill out, I think. And this is just a Google form, the Fabric registration form. This kind of breaks down the cost and different ways to save money in it. Yeah, I don't know if you have more questions about this. This is an info. I would definitely look at this, actually. Everybody else got a paper copy of this more information part. And here's a link to the scholarship form too. So that's all at fabricminneapolis.com/trips, which I can put in the chat. I also, a bunch of people are like, what's Appalachia? Except for the Moons, who are like going to Kentucky tomorrow probably, but no. But there's a show by a cook named Anthony Bourdain, or maybe he wasn't a cook. I don't know. He's kind of a food guy, called Parts Unknown, and he did an episode on West Virginia, and I think I'm actually gonna make all of us watch it before we go as like a learning about the area. But I think it does a good job of painting a picture of what it's like there. It honestly reminds me of, like, so much of the story is that it's like coal mining country, but coal is now on the outs as far as energy goes a little bit. But in that way, there are similarities to like the Iron Range and Appalachia, kind of that like old mining area, old mining towns, things like that. Yeah, okay. You are free to go unless you have questions for me.
Does the flight in the cost include the flight?
The cost includes the flight, yeah. And so with like the whole, I think once I have everybody's, like, I know who's coming on the trip, I'm gonna reassess a little bit with if it's cheaper to drive or fly. Like that could move that a little bit. But right now it seems cheaper to fly, actually, which seems crazy, but that's what it seems like. But we'll see. I love the road trip, and I think it would be similar time. So I'm not totally counting that out, but it would mean leaving like really early Saturday the 24th and coming back pretty late on July 2nd. So, but there's magic in the road trip for sure. So I'm not totally discounting that. It just kind of seems like flying is the way to go right now. But so also let me know if you're like, I can't do it if we extend a day or something like that. Then make sure to let me know that before you give me money and registration forms and things like that. But hopefully I will know that like really soon, because if we need to buy plane tickets, I will hopefully be buying them soon or sooner than later, just so we can lock that in. All right. I'm excited. So yeah, feel free to text me or call me. I think most of you guys have my phone number, so if you have questions or whatever. But that's the deal.
Okay. Well, I can't think of any questions yet.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
I will.
Good. And like read through the info session or info thing. That's good too. All right.
I
Well,
got like a packet this morning. Is that right?
Yeah, I should have
just
stapled
put
them
them on.
together. I watched Eloise put them in her violin case, so
Ah,
I think
okay.
she does have them. Yeah. Okay. Well, happy Thanksgiving to all you guys, and I'll see you when I see ya.
Cool, thanks.
Yep. Bye.